forget to like and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell
so we can go to college and get more knowledge.
Welcome back in the place to be with the CBDC Assets Group. Thank you all for being a part of the group. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's supporting us over on cyberhodlgear.com, purchasing all of our CBDC Assets Group merchandise. Thank you again. Your support means a lot. Welcome back in the place to be with me, Corey, from the CBDC Assets Group. Thank you guys for being a part of the group. Okay, this is a Stellar Lumens video just for my fans out there who want that XLM news. Here you go. The market cap right now is just under $2 trillion at 1.986, and the 24-hour volume is at 82 billion. And Bitcoin dominance is at 41.3. Ethereum is at 18.7. Stellar Lumens is sitting at 23 cents. It's a fire sale. 4 for $1. It's up 8.09% so far on the day. 8.10 now, 8.10. We're moving on up. But Stellar still riding low like the rest of the altcoins, and we're waiting to see Bitcoin cross that threshold of 50 to 60,000 before we see any real significant price action in the alternate coin marketplace. So, diving into Stellar today because you asked for it, and I try to give my fans what they want. So make sure that you leave your comments and suggestions underneath the video in the comment section. So, Stellar is doing a lot of very interesting things that I think you're going to want to see. They're talking about smart contracts, green energy, carbon credits, and I also got Kevin O'Leary talking about BlackRock's future for carbon credits. So you want to make sure you stick around to the end for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Network innovation is a core focus for the Stellar Development Foundation, and that's going to continue in 2022 as we challenge ourselves to adapt to new possibilities and see the opportunity they bring to extend Stellar. And the most immediate way we can think of to do that this year is with smart contracts. You heard me right. I said we are looking to bring smart contracts to Stellar in 2022. There's a lot of work to be done to get there, but at SDF, we're committed to researching and shepherding the development of the code and creating community engagement around an implementation. The goal is to have Stellar remain one of the most accessible networks for developers so they can deliver high quality and safe applications to their users while also allowing it to adapt and respond to the competitive blockchain landscape. Smart contracts would allow the ecosystem to develop a new suite of products and services on Stellar. They'd not only be a boon to current developers, they'd also attract new developers to Stellar. They will also make it easier for end users to take advantage of Stellar's network of fiat on-ramps to cash into the new digital economy, thereby improving equitable access to financial infrastructure. Since the Stellar network was built as the future of payments, it's important that smart contracts on Stellar are secure for users and can scale without exorbitant network fees. If we do this right, it could set smart contracts on Stellar apart from all the rest. We're optimistic that we can get it done this year, but ultimately, as an open source network with an engaged ecosystem of developers, this isn't solely our decision, right? It's something that we will build with ecosystem support. So we look forward to working with you all to build smart contracts on Stellar.
One of the biggest challenges we are seeing today is how to reduce the amount of CO2 that is pumped into the atmosphere every year. A big contributor to this comes from farming communities in the developing world who burn crop waste to speed up the farming process. Fixing this problem requires the right tools, training, and incentives. At Task, we're working with Biochar Trust, a social enterprise that is helping remove thousands of tons of CO2 from the atmosphere by teaching smallholder farmers to create biochar instead of burning their crop waste. Using Task and Stellar, the whole process is tracked on blockchain and tokens are generated to represent CO2 sequestered. Organizations can invest in the program and offset their carbon footprint, a process that generates much needed income for smallholder farmers, whilst also helping to reduce CO2 emissions. Biochar Trust uses a common asset issued on the Stellar blockchain called Stop the Smoke, or STS for short. New tokens are created, or minted as it's known, when carbon is sequestered. One STS token equals 1 ton of CO2 removed from the air. By doing this, Biochar Trust has a transparent ledger of everything they do, and it's these tokens that can be purchased by companies looking to offset their carbon. When the STS tokens are purchased, liquidity is generated for Biochar Trust, which can be shared with these farming communities. So how does Biochar Trust pull in the remote data in order to prove all of this? Well, I'm now on the Task app and inside the Biochar Trust program. I'm demonstrating the role of a farmer or volunteer worker who will add the information required to verify the process. The most important activity is tracking the use of biochar, as it gives us the information needed to calculate CO2 sequestered. You can see here how the farmers provide the data that Biochar Trust needs to calculate that CO2 sequestered. All these activities are displayed publicly for funders to view. And if we click through one of these activities, we can dig into the data and media, including geolocations, that grow confidence and trust with investors. As the biochar is used as animal feed or fertilizer, a formula calculates the CO2 sequestered and then mints the new amount of STS tokens against this positive environmental impact. It's all tracked within Stellar blockchain. You can see a unique task URL that has been added to the memo field of this transaction. And if we load it up, you can see it takes us to the data that was used to justify the minting of the new STS tokens. Okay, so we've now looked at how the data is captured and the tokens are minted. Let's also understand the buyer journey. In this case, an organization or individual offsetting their carbon footprint through the purchase of STS tokens. The wallet in Task gives us everything we need to trade and exchange Stellar assets, including STS. I can buy lumens to fund my account using on-ramp partners. I can then use the exchange feature to swap assets. In the example here, I'm exchanging $10 for the equivalent in STS tokens. We can view the Stellar Explorer to see the details of our purchase and the payment path. As an investor, I'm highly confident I'm only buying verified sequestered carbon assets and can display them publicly using my Task profile or other Stellar wallet. So that's how the system works. This Stellar-powered Task solution is allowing Biochar Trust to scale in a fast and effective manner. The project is now live in Thailand and Africa and rapidly scaling to other geographies. It's allowing verification of the process and ensuring funds are delivered across borders to farmers in a cost-effective way. Over the coming months and years, the program is expected to scale to thousands more farmers globally, helping to reduce CO2 emissions whilst improving livelihoods within these farming communities. Thanks a lot.
I'm very interested in what's going on there. Crypto is here to stay, no question about it. And I would say one other thing that should be on the mind of investors that are dabbling in crypto and Bitcoin mining, etc. Something I learned over the last couple of weeks, in talking again with institutions, this ESG mandate, let's talk about that for a second. This letter from Larry Fink, this declaration on sustainability that he put out a few weeks ago and sent around the world. Larry Fink and BlackRock are the largest money managers on earth. They manage more money than anybody else, including every sovereign's money. Practically every country is managed by BlackRock. All of a sudden, he comes out with this letter. I don't know if you guys read it, but basically what it says is, if you don't have a sustainability mandate, if you don't have an ESG discipline, we don't want to manage your money. Now, that's one hell of a statement. And it matters because now when I talk to institutions, they're saying, tell me about the sustainability of a WonderFi, for example. Does it have a carbon mandate? Before we buy it, we want to know. What about your Bitcoin miners? So after I saw that, what I did is I sold Marathon. I sold Riot. I'll tell you why I'm scared about it. Those companies use carbon credits. That's how they say they're green. Well, that's BS, because if you audit them, you actually go in there and audit them, you're going to find out the tracking error on carbon credits is crazy. There's no way to know with certainty that they're mining Bitcoin without using, at carbon neutral rates. They're just not. And I'm very worried about that. So I want to get ahead of the curve. I've sold those positions, and now I'm investing privately in miners that are doing it off hydro, wind, or solar. So I don't get in trouble with institutions that I service in the indexing business who have those sustainability mandates. My coin now are mined in northern Quebec and in northern Norway and in BC, and I own them clean as a whistle. Nobody can tell me that I'm offside ESG. There's not going to be any carbon on it because there is no carbon. And that's the thing you got to watch for. You got to look at your names in energy, in Bitcoin mining, and wherever else you're investing, and see if it passes the ESG smell test. It's no joke anymore.
Don't forget to like and subscribe
And hit the notification bell.
so we can go to college and get more knowledge.